Hey guys, we're looking at S&P 500 and mini futures, and this is 2000 tick chart. I'm going to be sharing with you my live trading session today. As we are looking at the chart, we see that the structure is looking quite bullish. You guys can see that I have a bunch of trend lines on the chart, and I draw these trend lines because that's the only thing that I have to do. That's the tool that I'm going to use as a price action trader. I'm not relying on any lagging indicators. I'm relying on simply the candlesticks that are printing on the chart, and I'm using the trend line rules to help me navigate the market correctly. So when it comes to trend line rule, after there is a break of a trend line, traders will attempt to create a new extreme, and this has been depicted by the break and two legs to a new extreme. From that point on, you guys can see a strong bullish push above the exponential moving average, and exponential moving average is pointing higher. Now this is the only indicator that I have on my chart, but this is a supportive indicator. And there was a break of this bullish structure uptrend, and you guys can see how nicely the uptrend fits, and there were two legs to a new extreme. So from that point on, I'm expecting this uptrend to be over. But take a look what happened. Price, instead of reversing below the EMA, we created a two legs back to the exponential moving average and to a potential trend line. First two swings set up the trend line, but you need a confirmation of the trend line, and this was the third swing, confirmation of this trend line right here. So this tells me that even if I have two legs up, I can still get resumption of a larger, flatter trend, and it has been confirmed by these three swings at the bottom, and also fits at the top. Now I didn't take this first entry because this is a first entry long, even though you can treat this as a hidden second entry because this is the first entry. If you go on a smaller time frame, you would see a tick higher, but on this time frame there is no tick higher. So this is still just a first entry right here. This is the first attempt from this high that people try to bought the market. And as you guys can probably already know, I'm looking for two-legged pullbacks, high probability setups at the key entry points. I have two key entry points right here, and there was a little push higher that broke lower, instant reverse now higher, and this is now a second attempt to form because this was the first attempt by the bulls, and this was the second attempt by the bulls to push the market higher. However, take a look. The second entry long was way too big of a bar, and it formed way too close to this double top. I cannot go long all that high. Had the second entry long closed somewhere around here, I have enough room to prior swing. This would have been a great entry, but as it closed so far up, there is no way I can use a sound money management system and I can make it safe because you have very little room to this double top. And so right now I'm just sitting patiently and expecting a correction now. All right, so the market has just opened regular US stock market hours, and I'm looking if I can get some nice short trap because I want to go long. I want to see a retest of the spike and a channel, and I'm looking for preferably higher low above the exponential moving average now that I see such a strong bullish momentum. Let me see if we can get it because we had a break of this spike and a channel, and according to trend line, I'm expecting a new extreme to be formed. We were two legs down, and this was right at the open. So you always want to be trading, you always want to be careful trading around the open because market can give you a volatility spikes. It can, give you a little fake out. Resuming the video, as I'm expecting for price to form a second entry long right here. You guys saw I have a potential trend line, but I also have a trend line like this, and let me see if we can get a second entry long that's going to close above the important key entry points because the price is right now very bullish, and I'm expecting for EMA to hold and offer me a nice second entry long. You guys can see I have a multiple key entry points that are holding price. Let's see if we can get a second entry long here, and there is no second entry long because the bar looked very bullish and ended up traded down looking very so we may push down here. Okay, we're pushing lower, so no entry right here. All right guys, I'm quickly resuming the video as we may have a high-low setup, and I'm going to try to sneak in on engulfing entry, just one tick higher, low. Unfortunately, we missed the entry. Scalp has already been made, but what I've been looking for, there was no second entry long as the price pushed lower and only created a first attempt to go long, and this is not a high. First entry long is not a good entry. Also, we just broke above the resistance, so you really want to see a second entry long. You want to really see a high probability setup. So as price created a two legs down, which market likes to move into, this is the first leg pullback, second leg down. I found the channel right here that holds nicely off the top as well, and you guys can see we struggled to reach the support, which indicates the bullish in bias, and a strong push above the EMA truly indicated the bullish bias. So for that reason, as price strongly pushed above the EMA, this was a high-low setup after two-legged pullback at the key entry point and exponential moving price hold on. Also, this is a test of this support right now that was previously acting as a resistance. So this is why I attempted to go long, but this bar is way too big. I cannot enter above this bar right here. I only tried to sneak in on an engulfing entry because the momentum was so strong, and a failed second entry short is way too far from EMA now, so I cannot take this entry right here. This bar I may still go long here. All right, I'm going to go long here. All right, so I'm dropping my stop loss one tick below this signal bar. I'm going to put my runner somewhere around here, and I'm going to go for 2.5 points worth of scalp. And I'm looking at the higher low, strong push above the exponential moving average. EMA is holding price, so we'll see how price what price will do here. All right, price is pushing strongly, and we need one more tick push higher. I'm going for 2.5 points this time because volatility is really big, and this is now what you want to see. We touched my limit order and we didn't tick through. Oh boy, this is not what you want to see. Come on. I may even exit the break even here. We're quite close to these tops. If you guys take a look, one top, double top, triple top, and we just touched it. But come on, do we have a power? And we need to take through the limit order. It's first trade for the day, and they're really letting us have it. And I might have a first losing trade here even. Oh boy. Excuse me, this is quite stressful. Come on, finally. You gotta be kidding me, man. They can't do me like that. You know what I'm going to do? I don't have the guts for this. I'm just gonna take a point here. I'm just gonna one and a half points would be good. 6 ticks. Come on. All right, I'm just gonna get a break even +1 here. Hopefully. Don't do me like that. Come on, man. All right, we got out of the break even +1, and watch this shoot up now and go just where I thought it was. I couldn't handle 3 touches at resistance like this while my order has not been filled, and that's quite stressful, but yeah, it happens. All right, so I'm resuming the video quickly as price is stalling a little bit, and you guys can see, had I hold on to this trade, price ticked 1 or 2 ticks higher above my 10 tick target profit, and I eventually would have gotten out of this trade. So you guys can see trading is only mental, because this trade would have been nice, and the sellers are right now taking over control. You guys can see there's a strong bearish move working to the downside, and since we broke this support, I'm waiting for a nice 2-legged pullback, second entry short at the key entry point, but price keeps making first entries and keeps pushing lower and keeps pushing lower, and we just reached the bottom of the trend channel line. So I'm still thinking bearish. The bias structure is bearish. Look how EMA is pointing down sharply. So only thing that I'm thinking about is right now is a second entry short, a 2-legged pullback. Preferably I want to see a break of a trend line, bullish trend line, breaking a new high, and then I would like to sell this this bearish structure. Other than that, so much price action, but very few setups that I like. I missed this setup right here, and I should have held on to this setup, but this setup is not the best setup as well. So I'm just sitting here patiently, still waiting. That counts to the territory. That's part of trading. Just sitting patiently, because you don't want to force trades out of sheer frustration that you're eager to take trades. So I'm gonna sit here and wait. So I'm resuming the video of quite some time of waiting And you guys can see the price created a break and created a new extreme, which according to trendline rules, after you have a break, you will expect a new extreme to be formed. And once you are having the bullish corrections, you have to understand that you're drawing these trend lines tight. And you guys can see there was a break, moved to a new extreme, but still first break or the second break of this downtrend. So I'm expecting a new extreme. From that point on, I was expecting a lower high below exponential moving average, but it didn't happen. And once price pushed here and gave you first entry long pullback, a second entry long failure, that's what I was expecting, because this is now a failed second entry long below EMA. You're expecting for a new extreme to be formed, but there was no entry below the first initial bearish bar. And by the time this bar formed, there are 5 bars stacked working directly next to each other. And for that reason, I decided to skip this trade. And then you have a break, new extreme form. But take a look what the bullish momentum did. You have a push higher, break, new extreme form. So that tells you that this bullish move is over. Strong push below EMA indicated that it is truly over. Then there was a lower high, and there was first entry long, pullback, second entry long, and once again, a little bit frustrating today. I was preparing to go short here on a failed second entry long, 2 failed attempts to go long below EMA, because you push below EMA, which indicated bearish momentum. This uptrend played out with the break and a new extreme, but there is a horrible bullish bar. I cannot sell below this bar right here. So even though the entry would have worked for 8 ticks, it seems like just can't pull the trigger here, and I didn't really like pulling the trigger here as well. So just sitting patiently, still only attempted to take these 2 trades, and unfortunately not that many clean setups. In price session is really there's plenty of price session, plenty of bars, but not that many good high probability setups that I would like, because once I have a break and a new extreme form, I just don't want to sell the lower high instantly. Anything can happen, so I want to wait really for the failed second entry long. But once it formed, the signal bar is really, this is a bullish signal bar. You could even make a case for going long here in a strong uptrend. So I can't really take a short below this signal bar. So right now I'm just waiting. Right now it looks like we have a range structure, so we'll see what's going to happen. All right, guys, so I'm quickly going to enter a higher low entry if we can get the trigger here. It formed so quickly, it gapped up. You guys can see there's a little gap, and so I have to cancel the order because the scalp has already been made. But what was I looking at? We had an uptrend working higher, we had a break of an uptrend, and according to trendline rules, I expect simple price action, new extreme to be formed, first entry long, pullback, second entry long right here, 2-legged pullback, simple setup, simple price action. At first it looked like we're not going to close back at the exponential moving average, so I wasn't really into taking this trade, but we closed so bullish, it really reversed so strongly that it made me think I was about to jump this trade. But unfortunately, once again, you guys can see there's a little gap here. I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger. There's a gap, so it means the price just gapped up, opened, and instantly traded up higher, so there was no tick back for my limit order to get filled. Order submitted. Alright guys, so I'm going to enter a higher low entry right here. Let me quickly get into this trade right here. Coming off this trend line, I'm watching a 5-minute chart. I got filled, so I'm going to go for 8 ticks. Runner goes at the top. I'm looking at the 5-minute chart, and price is still above the exponential moving average, and exponential moving average is holding price nicely. And on a 2000 tick chart, you guys can see I found this uptrend off of these few swings at the bottom. This swing confirmed the trend line, so this is now kind of like a third swing, and now there's another confirmation, and this is a nice bullish bar. A trend line keeps holding price, which is a key entry point. There's a strong uptrend that had a break at a new extreme, and after a new extreme you expect correction or straight up reversal, but you had a 2 legs down and you had a second entry long right here, and price didn't continue pushing lower. Price halted and reversed strongly up here, so that tells you that there's something legit here preventing the price. And I found this trend line based on 5-minute chart, because 5-minute chart was right at the exponential moving average, and we got out quickly. So this was a decent entry. I kind of treated it as a higher low, even though it was a little bit aggressive because you didn't push above the exponential moving average. You pushed a little bit below, but price needed to come back to this key entry point, to this trend line, and there was a new high, first entry long, second entry long. So this is a 2-legged pullback, and higher low is a confirmation of this 2-legged pullback at the key entry point. So as the runner, it just got hit. It almost reached I think it reached a little bit over 6 points, but it happened so quickly. I was a little bit greedy here. Normally 5 to 6 points when the market is not trending is where I'm about to take the runner, but it formed double top and it strongly reversed down, and it didn't even give me a chance to think about canceling the runner. So, but this was the only trade for the day, apart from this right here that I decided to get out the break even. And you guys can see it was a little bit risky because normally higher low is supposed to be above the EMA, but the trend line kept holding, and now the double top held price nicely and we strongly reversed down. So that's a little bit concerning. We're starting to get stack up even on a 5-minute chart, but I'm gonna call it a wrap. It's getting quite late, and one trade is better. One trade and one take is better than forcing any losing trades right now. So this was a little bit difficult day. A lot of price action, but not that many good setups. You just have to sit on your hands. A lot of congestions, just not too many setups. So I'm gonna wrap it up, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.